Welcome, Curious Minds. Today, we're jumping into a really influential text. It's one that honestly challenged how a lot of us think about money.
That's right. We're talking about Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, a classic.
Exactly. And our mission today is to really pull out those core financial ideas, contrasting the, let's say, traditional poor dad view with the rich dad's more unconventional approach.
It definitely offers some aha moments about how money works or how it could work.
Okay, so let's unpack this central idea first. Kiyosaki kind of frames everything around these two father figures.
Yeah, his own dad, the poor dad.
Right, who really valued, job security, the traditional path, good education,
And then his best friend's dad, the rich dad, who is all about entrepreneurship, investing, seeing money differently.
and that contrast right off the bat, it really makes you question things, doesn't it? About what leads to actual wealth.
It's a powerful setup. And what jumps out immediately is how the book points to a gap in, well, our education system.
You mean about money?
Precisely. Traditional schooling often doesn't really teach practical money management, does it?
Not really, no. More focused on getting a job.
Exactly. So Kiyosaki argues that financial literacy, like really understanding how money works, is crucial for building wealth. It's something you usually have to seek out yourself.
Sort of breaking away from that standard script.
Yeah.
Go to school, get a good job, hope for the best.
Right, because that script, he suggests, can leave you financially fragile even if you earn a good salary.
Okay, so if traditional education isn't the whole answer, this brings us to maybe the most talked about part. Assets versus liabilities. This is where it gets really interesting.
Oh, definitely. This flips a lot of conventional thinking on its head. The core argument is that wealthy people focus their energy on acquiring assets.
And assets are defined specifically as,
Things that put money into your pocket. So think investments, businesses, rental properties, things that generate income for you.
okay, makes sense. And the contrast is,
Well, the contrast is that many poor and middle-class people spend their money acquiring liabilities. But they often think these are assets.
okay.
Yes.
Give us the big example.
The main one Kiyosaki uses is your personal home.
Right, which feels like the asset for most people.
Exactly. But he argues it's often more of a liability because it takes money out of your pocket every month. Mortgage, property taxes, insurance, repairs. It doesn't typically generate income unless you're, say, renting out a room.
That's a fundamental redefinition for a lot of folks.
Yeah.
So understanding that difference is step one. How do you actually start acquiring these true assets then? Is it just about knowing the definition?
Well, knowledge is key, but it really starts with mindset. That's another huge principle in the book.
The difference between the two dads again.
Absolutely. The poor dad mindset values security above all. Find a safe job, stay there,
Avoid risk.
pretty much. Whereas the rich dad mindset embraces calculated risk, looks for opportunities, sees change as a chance to grow or invest. It's about actively seeking ways to build wealth, not just protect a paycheck.
Okay, so mindset shift.
Yeah.
Check. And that leads naturally to this idea of making money work for you.
Yes, exactly. Moving beyond just trading your time for money, which is what most jobs are.
You work an hour, you get paid for an hour.
Right. The goal instead is to have your money start generating more money through, smart investments, maybe starting a side business, things like that.
Letting your assets do the heavy lifting.
Precisely. And another piece here that often surprises people is the emphasis on understanding legal structures, like corporations.
That sounds intimidating, like it's only for huge companies.
Well, that's the perception, but Kiyosaki argues that understanding even basic structures, like an LLC or S Corp, depending on where you are, can offer real advantages.
Such as?
Primarily, potential tax benefits and asset protection,
Mhm.
legally separating your personal finances from your business or investment activities. It's about using the rules of the system effectively.
Okay, that's a practical tool. But building assets, starting businesses,
Yeah.
that involves risk, right?
Uh-uh.
Fear of losing money definitely stops a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. And the book tackles this head on. It stresses that taking calculated risks, and yes, sometimes failing or losing money, isn't just possible, it's almost necessary.
Necessary. How so?
It reframes failure not as the end, but as a learning opportunity, like paying tuition for your real-world financial education. Every mistake, if you learn from it, makes you a smarter investor or entrepreneur.
So embracing failure as part of the process.
Yeah, that willingness to learn, adapt, and keep going even after setbacks, that really ties all these ideas together. It's fundamental to achieving that financial freedom he talks about.
So if we boil it all down, What's the core takeaway here?
Well, I think the main message from Rich Dad Poor Dad is pretty clear. Building wealth isn't just about how much you earn. That's only one part of the equation.
It's more about.
It's fundamentally about how you understand money, how you manage it, how you invest it, and, crucially, how you think about it. Real financial freedom comes from getting that financial knowledge and then using it to strategically build assets that generate income.
That really shifts the focus. So a final thought for everyone listening to maybe chew on.
Yeah.
Beyond the obvious things like, debt is bad or saving is good, what's maybe one